Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to each and every single one of you to another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here. We are here to read an article from the Harvard Report. Dixon came out and talked to the Harvard Report, so we are going to be breaking down the article live, and of course I'll be giving you my take on that. And then tonight at 10 o'clock I was like, okay, should I do it, should I not do it? Y'all, we're gonna do it. We're gonna read the second amended complaint from Lauren Pescata when it comes to Kanye West tonight at 10 o'clock. I got the documents from Document Tings on Twitter. Shout out to Document Tings for sure. With that being said, higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we are live on tour once again. Let me take down that iconic intro there. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody, welcome in, and glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Let's get to the again doing what we do, everybody, because Lord, we got a lot to talk about, don't we? Yes, we do. All right, here we go. Let me get this article up. All right, here we go. From the Hollywood Reporter, as you can see right there, exclusive. Tyler Perry accuser Derek Dixon speaks. I couldn't stay silent anymore. Tyler Perry accuser Derek Dixon speaks. I couldn't stay silent anymore. Exclusive. In his first interview since filing a $260 million sexual assault claim against the media career actor, Derek Dixon said he felt compelled to go public because everyone deserves to go to work and to do their job without their boss trying to have sex with them. Now, it's interesting that this article comes out the day before Medea's Destination Wedding on Netflix. That's coming out tomorrow. Actually, it should be coming out tonight at midnight at 12 a.m. So, but here we go. This came out today. Actor Derek Dixon says the process of bringing his recent bombshell lawsuit for sexual harassment and assault against Atlanta entertainment mogul Tyler Perry has been terrifying. But in his first interview since filing the $260 million claim against Perry at Los Angeles Superior Court on June 13th, he says he felt compelled to speak out because I couldn't just let him get away with this. Everyone deserves to go to work and to do their job without their boss trying to have sex with them, Derek Dixon says. Or Dixon says, rather. My goal is to help ensure that the next generation of actors and creatives don't have to choose between their dreams and their dignity. Wow. That is a bold statement. And I say it's a bold statement not because he doesn't have the right to say that, because he does. He's absolutely right that nobody should have to choose between their dreams and their dignity. It is the fact of how he is setting up this interview, right? So yeah. All right. Dixon, an actor in his late 30s who appeared in 85 episodes of Perry's BET series The Oval that aired between 2021 and 2025, alleges in the lawsuit that Perry made several unwanted sexual advances toward him, including one in which the producer pinned him against a wall and groped him, and another in which Perry snuck into his bed. Dixon has accused Perry of engaging in a pattern of exploiting male actors in his productions and using his power in the entertainment industry to harass employees. In a statement, Matthew Boyd, a lawyer for the 55-year-old mogul, called Dixon an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than set up a scam. Well, y'all know I gotta do it, right? My Lord, I have to. I have no other choice, ladies and gentlemen. You saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. So I have to do it. I have no other option here. So give me one moment. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Bertha, let us know what's going on, please, and thank you. Oh, my Lord. Here we go.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Back to the interview, everybody. Listen. I mean, Bertha should have made some clothing, some hats, some cups. Like, you know. A scheme that Todd set up on the front to come to you with the bullshit on the back. I'm just saying. Oh, my Lord. Tyler will not be shaken down. We are confident that these fabricated claims of harassment will fail, Boyd said. Dixon, who answered the Horror Report's questions by email, described first meeting Perry in Atlanta in September 2019, when he was working as an event coordinator for a company, Legendary Events, that was organizing the opening party for Tyler Perry Studios, the big party where you saw every black legend there. I mean, la-di-da-di, everybody in the words T-Talk with your girl, right? At the time, Dixon, who was sporadically acting and writing in theater in Atlanta, says he knew Perry only as the creator of the Medea movies. Dixon said Perry singled him out in the crowd of event staff, asked him to get on stage so he could check the lighting, and then asked Dixon if he was an actor. I said, yes, but not really right now, Dixon said. And he said, yes, you are, I can tell. At the end of the event, Perry and Dixon exchanged numbers, and Perry began texting Dixon the next day, asking, so who are you? What's the dream? What do you want to do? Now, I will say this, right? I truly believe that if any one of us was in a situation where, let's just say you were in the medical field, in the law, in the legal field, media, what have you, and there was a legend, right, that you really looked up to, and they said, you know, hey, let's exchange numbers, then began texting you that. First of all, I mean, who's not going to tell them, you know, the dream that they've been thinking of, because, you know, you want to go from a zero to a hero just like that. However, we don't know what we don't know until we get to know it, right? So there is that. There. Perry offered Dixon the opportunity to audition for the part of a character named Dale in his series Ruthless, a spinoff of the White House set drama The Oval, created under Perry's overall deal with Viacom CBS, now known as Paramount. Perry ultimately cast Dixon in the part, telling him it was a small role that could get a lot bigger. At that point, Dixon, who is an out gay man, did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for a sexual relation. Dixon complaint says about a year after this, in December 2020, Perry would announce on Instagram that he and his longtime girlfriend, Glenda Blecky, or Beckel rather, with whom he shares a now 10-year-old son, have broken up. I'm not going to speak for him on how he identifies sexually, says Dixon. Regardless of his sexual orientation or gender, he should not be speaking to any of his employees, whether they be men, women, gay, straight, or bisexual, about their sexual preferences, how often they're having sex or physically assaulting them. Not at all. Now, here's the thing, right? When you are the CEO of a company, you know, the snake moves from the head down, right? So, for example, let's just say a Braylon's virtual tour, you know, we're getting our destinations together. There's a story about sex, right? We may joke and kid and stuff, but it's going to be related to the story, right? We're not going to go any further than the assignment, right? So I fully agree with that. And not to mention too, like, that's really not anybody's business unless everybody has consented to the conversation. Okay. So yes, indeed. Dixon grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and decided he wanted to be an actor after appearing in his first play in his freshman year of high school. He studied acting at Marymount Manhattan College and at the Shabreder studio in New York. Sorry if I butchered that name, y'all. In New York, performed in plays in Atlanta, and won a Georgia Playwright Award. That's a big deal. Prior to working at the events company, he mostly made his living as a waiter or bartender while trying to build his acting career, just like Jeffrey Owens was working at Trader Joe's. Because what a lot of people don't know is, for acting, you know, there is downtime, right? So you're not shooting movies and TV shows every single day, depending on the level of actor or actress that you are, right? That's why this guy Fox said that hosting was her next, what's her next chapter, because hosting, you come in, you do an hour work, and you go home. Okay, so you're not on a set for 3 to 6 months, taping, filming 12 to 14 hours a day, right? And then you gotta wait for editing and cutting and splicing and dicing and sound and everything in between. And then finally the movie comes out. Before the movie comes out, you gotta go on a huge press tour, and then hopefully people like it enough to go see it. Then hopefully it breaks even, right? So the actors you see, they have to ask for the salaries they get, so that way they can live their life. And we've already been talking about that. So yes. In January of 2020, Dixon outlines in his complaint, Perry invited him to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Both men drank alcohol, and Perry told Dixon he was too inebriated to drive home and should stay in the guest house. After Dixon went to bed at the guest house, he said, Perry climbed into bed with me and began with my thigh. I immediately jumped out the bed, said, I'm not that sexual, and stood up until he left the room. I thought my reaction made it clear that night that I was not interested. And here's the thing, right? Like, in this situation, I don't know why Tyler Perry would allegedly have one of his stars, or one of his actors rather, stay in the guest house when really Tyler Perry is very wealthy enough to get an Uber and would probably call whoever is closest. It's like, hey, listen, I need you to come and get this person, make sure he gets to the house. I'll give you some money for gas. There you go. To stay at the guest house, that's a little much. And by the way, if you missed the reading of the documents, right? Let me bring up our channel. Here, hang on, give me a moment. It's right here, 3 weeks ago, right here. So if you need the breakdown of everything, right there, just type in Derek Dixon and then click this video with the thumbnail that says, now Tyler, we got a lot going on. Okay, so just click that and you'll be in the know with everything that you need to know. Okay, so there is that thing. After that encounter, Perry called or texted Dixon every day, Dixon says, and Dixon ignored him. Derek, why don't you text me more? Reads one text included in Dixon's complaint. After a few days, Perry texted saying he wanted to expand Dixon's small role of Dell and Ruthless to be a recurring character on the Oval. It was the kind of career opportunity Dixon had been waiting for. Dixon read that his character would be pounded 4 times in the chest at the end of the season, and assumed he would be deleted off. When he asked Perry about that storyline on a phone call, Dixon claims he said that if I did a good job, I'd probably survive. On the same call, Dixon says Perry also told him that nobody gives him anything. He gives and gives, nobody ever gives back. Dixon said, I remember feeling my stomach drop when he said this. I knew that I couldn't piss him off. My character could easily just stay dead. And in that lawsuit, one of the things that was talked about is that if Tyler Perry is feeling like an employee is disrespecting him or employees doing what they want to do, he will delete them from the show. So he'll, pound off in the show, right? So that was a disciplinary mechanism, right? So yes, indeed, there. After he delivered the good news about Dale, Perry's calls and texts increased exponentially. Dixon alleges in the lawsuit it was always personal and almost never about business. Dixon says he would say, send pics of what I was doing or ask to see a photo shoot that I just did. Dixon didn't answer immediately. He says Perry would get annoyed when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Production on the Oval was delayed, and Perry encouraged Dixon to use the time to write a comic pilot. Dixon did share the script. He called me and told me that it was hilarious. He loved it. He wanted to shoot a pilot for it, Dixon says. I couldn't believe he actually liked it, much less wanted to shoot the pilot for it. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me at the time. Absolutely. Without question, that would be like me getting an overall deal with, for example, or getting an overall deal with or any platform, right? And hey, Coach James Hodge, good to see you, my man. Getting an overall deal with any one of those companies, right? One of those platforms, and I have a really good idea. And they said, let's go. Wait, what? It's approved? Like we ain't gotta, shoot a pilot stuff. Nope, we're gonna do straight to series, or it's going on this fall. It's like, well, damn, that would be amazing if it happened to me, right? So yes, indeed, there. The details and dates of when this pilot was going to happen stayed murky, but Dixon was thrilled and grateful. He thought that Perry understood after their guest house encounter that there was not going to be a sexual relationship between the two of them. There were times when I was around him and nothing would happen, Dixon says. So I thought he got the picture, and that created a false sense of security. Dixon believes that his excitement about his career and the fear of Perry's power led him to ignore certain warning signs. I now realize I let my gratefulness for what he'd done for me cloud my self-respect, Dixon says. Dixon says because he had never worked in a corporate environment, he did fully clock the professional inappropriateness of the text messages Perry began to send. Texts from Perry included on Dixon's complaint show the entertainment remote commenting on Dixon's thick body, asking why do you twist your hips when you walk, and noting that Dixon likes to be choked after shooting a chokeout scene on the show. In one text, Perry told Dixon he needed to let someone hold you and make love to you. Child. No. Now, y'all know how much I love Jill Scott. Y'all know how much I love Nzinga Mindy. Y'all know how much I love Candace Glover, right? Melody Sheree Rogers. There's so many women, okay? Look, God knew what he was doing when he made women. See, it was Eve's fault for being thick in the garden, okay? And that's why Adam was tempted. And now we got to suffer the consequences. Y'all, that is all alleged, okay? I don't know if Eve was thick in the garden or not, but that's neither here nor there. But the point is, right, is that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, that there's a line there, right? There's a line. Just because I'm the boss of Braylon Studios doesn't mean that these employees are different flavors of ice cream. I can just eat them anytime I want, right? That's not how that works, right? if they are employee of Braylon Studios, they come to work on the soundstage they're at. If they got friends on the sound stages, go forth, prosper, be free. Like, I love creativity, I love collaboration, I love connection, right? But that's it. The only time I ever talk to them is, hey, listen, we're about to get ready to shoot for the season. How you feeling? Are you excited? You got everything in your dressing room? The business, right? And if we do have a friendly conversation, that's because there's a friendly energy to give to each other, right? So that right there of Perry told Dixon he needed to let someone hold you and make love to you, that was not Tyler Perry's business to say that to his employee. No. Because here's the thing, right? Men should not be harassed. Women should not be harassed. Okay? Because honestly, if I were to say that to, Nzinga Amani, she would have every right to feel away, whether she has a man or not. Excuse me, Mr. Lee. What are you talking about? So no, we're not going to let this skate by. Well, Tyler Perry's a man and Derek Dixon's a man. Okay, and consent is consent. What the hell is wrong with y'all? One day, not y'all, I'm just saying, what the hell is wrong with y'all in a general sense? One day on set, Dixon says Perry asked him to come to his trailer for a drink. I knew I had to, Dixon says. We were all living at Tyler Perry Studios, working for Tyler Perry, who was the producer, writer, and director. And I understood that you do what Tyler Perry says and you go where he demands. I felt like if you were invited and you cared at all about your career and staying on the show, you couldn't say no. Excuse me. Perry had his assistant bring the margaritas in the trailer, Dixon says. He claims in his complaint that Perry began asking uncomfortable questions, including whether Dixon was attracted to him. Dixon tells her interest, telling him that he wasn't that excited. But when he left, they hugged, and Perry pushed him against the wall and grabbed his buttocks. Dixon says after he would do things like that, he would say things like, we need to just be we need to just be business. We need to just be professional. I would think, great. Yes, every time I thought it would stop. So here's the thing, right? If you did what you did and you said we just need to be business, we just need to be professional, but yet you keep doing that, that would have been like, and is like, when P. Diddy called Eddie Garcia basically saying, I don't want that tape coming out because it will ruin my career. Basically, Diddy called Eddie Garcia basically saying that he knew what the fuck he did. Now, obviously, we saw, text messages between Derek Dixon and Tyler Perry. But, God forbid, if Derek Dixon has video, God forbid if Derek Dixon has audio, because we all heard the audio of Shannon Sharp saying big black man choking small white woman, right? So this is far from over. Far from over. The texting continued, however, with Perry often sending messages while drunk and seeming to get angry when Dixon didn't answer. Derek, he said in one text that appears in the complaint, don't you dare ignore me. I deserve better. I deserve attention all the time. What is it going to take for you to have gutless sex? Now, here's the thing, right? You got sisters. You got divorced sisters. You had bruh at one point in time. You had Love Thy Neighbor at one point in time. You had the Never Ever Mets. Not the Never Ever Mets. Sorry, I'm thinking the Have Nots. The Never Ever Mets still on Open Point for Network. But Tyler Perry was on Open Point for Network at one point in time. But all the series that you have Tima, Sisters, Divorced Sisters, The Oval, Ruthless. Like, you got shows to work on. You used to work on Young Dilla until Young Dilla got canceled on Nickelodeon. But still, like, you're the head of a studio. You get into unscripted content. Like, you got internship program. Like, you got stuff to do, bro. Like, you work for Netflix. You work for Amazon. You work for BET Plus. I think that's the thing that's really is surprising to a lot of people. Is like, bruh, for all of this, what else are you doing? Because I would think to have all those things that you don't have a lot of free time. This is saying something different. Reads another text. Let me read that again. The texting continued, however, with Perry often sending messages while drunk and seeming to get angry when Dixon didn't answer Derek. He said in one text that appears in the complaint, "Don't you dare ignore me. I deserve better. I deserve attention all the time. What is it going to take for you to have gutless sex?" Reads another text. "Have you found that yet in therapy?" Dixon says he started having insomnia and stomach issues, and his doctor prescribed him Zoloft, an antidepressant. After weeks of unreciprocated sexual innuendos, Perry lashed out at Dixon on set. The complaint alleges, asking if he needs to punch Dixon in the stomach for Dixon to deliver the performance he wanted. Yeah, and in that complaint, some of the cast members were a little thrown off by that. Yeah. In June of 2021, according to Dixon's complaint, Perry invited Dixon to his house, assumingly to discuss Dixon's pilot losing it. "I was worried, but I knew I had to go." Dixon says, "I thought if he tried anything again, I could handle it and de-escalate it like I usually did." Dixon says he and Perry got drunk, and Perry told Dixon to sleep in the guest house again. He told me to give him a good night hug, and as I did, he abruptly and forcefully pulled down my underwear and groped my bare ass. Derek's words, not mine, everybody. Dixon says one of the most damning allegations in his complaint. When I tried to pull my underwear back up, he grabbed my wrist to keep me from putting them back on. I couldn't believe what was happening. Dixon believed that he was about to be raped. I told him, "No, stop, and I don't want this." Dixon says, detailing the incident in the lawsuit, but he wasn't stopping. He just told me to relax and let it happen, and that he wasn't going to hurt me. Perry's estate, which has a guard at the gate, is located in the middle of nowhere. Dixon says an Uber can't drive to the guest house to defuse the situation. Dixon says he told Perry that he couldn't do anything sexual because he was hungry, which sent Perry off to go get a pizza. They ate pizza in the living room, and Dixon returned to the guest house, locked himself in the bathroom, and fell asleep on the floor. Whew, child. And y'all, Tyler Perry's house, let's see, can I pull up his house? And y'all, I'm not doxing Tyler Perry, okay? I don't want to hear that shit, okay? Because Steve Harvey bought Tyler Perry's old house, and they showed that, okay? So celebrity homes have been shown for a very long time, okay? So listen. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is Tyler Perry's former home. This was in Buckhead here. So now this home is the home that Steve Harvey lives in Atlanta. Okay, so that's the former home of Tyler Perry, but now Steve Harvey's home. And then this is Tyler Perry's home. That home right there. Like, can you imagine that? And it's literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, first of all, what the hell? Good damn. Like, you gotta drive up all that driveway, and then you gotta turn either left or right, circle in, and then there you are. Like, check that's, and then of course you got the garage over here, like that, child. But yeah, that's Tyler Perry's home. Oh, Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. I wonder, because if you guys remember, Braxton Wells said that Mark Eastwood raped him, right? That's what Braxton Wells said. And I wonder, had it not been for, Dixon saying he was hungry, that Tyler Perry was going to do the same thing to Derek Dixon. In the following days, Dixon says he contacted a lawyer, not the one representing him now, Jonathan Dashad, but another, who told him he needed to quit the Oval if he was going to file a complaint. All those years of trying to be an actor would just go smoke. Dixon said, "This is not a normal job. You just can't eat. You just can't go out and easily get another series, regular role on a TV show. No, you can't." Child, it's not just about what you know, but it's about who you know as well. I mean, hosting a show, my lord, you gotta have an agent, a manager, a publicist, and this and that. And usually, hosting a show depends on the gig, right? So if you're doing like a 20 episode show, you tape the 20 episodes, 5 Monday, 5 Tuesday, 5 Wednesday, 5 Thursday, you get paid maybe, I don't know, $30,000 to $75,000 an episode, but that's when the episode airs. The episodes air, of course, and then you're done. Now, if you see Harvey and you're taping Family Feud 185 to 200 episodes in 6 weeks, you got that gig, but that's a block of time, right? But, acting, hosting, those are not just jobs that you can just, oh my God, I'm not hosting a show. Oh my God, I'm not acting. Let me just go to actingjobs.com and apply. No, that's not how that works. No. Woody Woodpecker. Yes, indeed, there. Dixon told a co-worker what happened. They reminded him what he'd be giving up if he complained. Dixon felt paralyzed. I was too afraid to come forward. He says, I knew it would be awful, and I was right. Over the next several months, Dixon said he avoided Perry, declined an invitation for a yacht trip. Someone from Perry's production company reached out and said they wanted to shoot the pilot soon. And Perry's attorneys called and told Dixon that he was getting a raise, but not to tell other castmates because he was the only one. Dixon decided to stay quiet, hoping the pilot would be a success, and he could find work elsewhere in the entertainment industry. Perry shot Dixon's pilot in March 2022. What Dixon didn't know at the time, he alleges in the complaint, was that Perry's contract with Viacom prohibited him from shopping the show for 2 years. Perry declined to comment on the deal. I believe he was trying to dangle my dreams in front of me for as long as he could to prevent me from talking, Dixon says. In January 2023, after finishing another season of The Oval, Dixon moved to Santa Monica, over to put some physical distance between himself and Perry and waiting for Perry to sell the pilot. So when it usually comes to like a pilot, right? Let's just say that Braylon's virtual tour, I wanted to sell that as a show. For one, I have to make a pitch deck, the inspiration behind the show, the audience demographics, what the show is about, what's going to make it different, where it would air, how many episodes. That's a pitch deck, right? So then you shop that around different networks. And then after that, it takes a minute. Because they got to talk internally with, their accounting team and their, research team and this, that, and the third, and then they'll come to you with an offer. You don't like the offer, then you go to another, company, another company, until you get the right one, and then they figure out the promo tour, they figure out the launch date, right? So there you go. It's just a little behind the scenes magic for y'all there. In December of 2023, Christian Keys, another actor who worked for Perry prior to Dixon's employment, went on Instagram Live detailing his abusive experience with an anonymous Black Hollywood billionaire, which Dixon believes to be a reference to Perry. Keys' manager has not returned a request for comment. Of course, he hasn't. In June of 2024, Dixon filed a sexual harassment complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and quit his job working on the last season of The Oval, for which he was under contract to make close to $400,000. The EEOC complaint is currently pending. I was an employee. He was my boss, Dixon says. What motivated him to file the complaint? The fact that I'm an actor does not make me any less an employee. For a long time, I convinced myself that it was part of the industry, or that somehow I had to accept it to keep working, but eventually I couldn't stay silent anymore. And listen, $400,000 is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. So actually, let me see something. I'm going to pull up Forbes income tax calculator real quick here. Forbes income tax calculator. So close to $400,000. Let me do this here. So $400,000. I'm gonna do Ohio because that's where I live. So after that, take home is $277,117. That's a lot of money to turn down. But also, too, dignity versus the price tag. There's no war there to win, right? In the weeks since this lawsuit became public, Dixon says he's received a mix of responses from online threats and harassment to messages of support to stories of other people who said they have had similar experiences with Perry. This is why people, especially men, don't come forward, Dixon says, of the harassment. Asked if he attempted to reach a private settlement with Perry prior to filing his lawsuit last month, Dixon says there are always attempts to resolve situations like this privately, but they never result in the type of change necessary to protect further victims. At the end of the day, my absolute fear is that he will be able to continue doing this without any major consequences. So that is Derek Dixon, who talked with the Hollywood Reporter about the fact that he could not be silent anymore. So there it is there. Yes, indeed. So whew, that was an article for sure. Not too long, but not too short. I feel like we got to hear his voice a little bit more on this one because when the lawsuit came out, it was like, wait a minute, $260 million. This is a lot of money. But when you start to read the lawsuit, and there has been other, videos and other people saying that Perry, has sugar in his tank, allegedly. And then you see the Boondocks episode, which is still on YouTube, actually. I watched that Boondocks episode, and I'm like, oh, my Lord, I see why Perry was so upset. So upset, yeah. Things start to add up, and there's something not sweet in the Kool-Aid with this. It is far from over. Like I said, Derek Dixon was the first one to sue against Tyler Perry. Then you got Braxton Wells, who's the second person. Christian Keys, who said an anonymous black billionaire did what he did to Christian Keys, but did not say the name. Everybody believes it's Tyler Perry, and Christian Keys knows who it is. And eventually, in discovery, right, for Braxton Wells, if they do take this to court, if Christian Keys is found out, then guess what? Everybody's going to say, okay, we've been knowing that. So, and they're going to be upset with Christian. Bro, why didn't you say it? But also, too, at the same token, I can kind of see why Christian Keys didn't say anything because, he's got this huge show, All the Queen's Men, right? So he's trying to keep his pristine, image and stuff like that. By the way, I have to say, speaking of Christian Keys, I was listening to My View, My Opinion. Wonderful, wonderful woman. I subscribed to her way back in the day. And she has done a lot since then. I am so proud of her. But she had a take on Christian Keys. I'm like, good damn, I've never heard you this angry before. But shout out to My View, My Opinion podcast. She just does audio. She doesn't do video. But her voice is very pleasant to listen to. So just wanted to shout her out there. So we'll get to the 40-minute mark there and take a little commercial break. And we'll be back with more right after this, y'all. What a time we are living in. And like I said, at 10 o'clock, we will be reading the not Tyler Perry, but we just read this article about Tyler Perry. We'll be reading the Lauren Prescotta second amended complaint when it comes to Kanye West tonight at 10 o'clock. So in about an hour. Yes, indeed. There's some. Whew, my Lord Jesus, man. What a time, 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 what a time. Jesus. Jesus. All right, y'all, we're going to take a little commercial break. We'll be back right after this rolling.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward,
with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination, an experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
When we start a project, we always start with story. That story is key. So we began with the story of the Waturi people. The myth of the Waturi people is that long ago, they set out on their outrigger canoes looking for a new home. There was a legend that said they could only find this new home with the help of this mini golden-finned fish called kanuku. And they searched across Pacifica and Polynesia, and they visited all these islands. They went to Bali and Tahiti and went as far as Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Along the way, they made friends, collected sort of the culture, and they sailed on and on and on, and they almost to the edge of the world. There, to their amazement, was Kanuku. And she turned to the people and said, "You are ready." Turned and swam away. They followed, and within a day, they caught sight of this smoking mountain on the horizon, which was Volcano Bay. And it was pristine, beautiful, lush, everything that they would want in a home. And that's the backstory that informs everything we do in our design. The idea here is to create the best experience. We know what our guests want. They want the thrill and excitement of our theme parks, but they also want a place where they can relax and chill out and feel pampered. Nobody wants to stand in line. And so we said, let's get rid of them. Nobody wants to carry rafts up a ride tower all the way to the top. So we said, let's do that for you. Exhilaration, excitement, and relaxation. That's what you're gonna get at Volcano Bay.
I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Braylon's Virtual Report Live. Glad to have all you here. We are just a chillaxing. Y'all, I gotta tell y'all something. For real. You wanna know something?
Time is slipping away from me. Yeah. Time.
One more time.
Time is slipping away from me. Yeah. Time.
One more time, guys.
Time is slipping away from me. Yeah.
Time is slipping away from me, y'all. Let me tell you something. Oh, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the days are getting faster or I'm getting older, but I'm feeling more tired recently. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the world in general I'm tired of. I don't know, because, could y'all ever predict the world this crazy? No, I couldn't. I just couldn't either. So. Yes, indeed. Almost there to a full-fledged hour, and then we'll cut the camera off there and make it do what it do. But yeah, this article was an article. I gotta tell you, yes, indeed, it was. And like I said, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, literally at 10, I have the documents for Kanye West. So we are going to talk about that tonight at 10 o'clock, right on the dot. So please be here from the jump, because we got a lot to talk about right here. Yeah. So right here, all July 10th at 10 p.m. Isn't that funny? Jane said the quiet part out loud. You got hashtag you got next. That's very true. I'm not surprised by any of this that's happening with Kanye West. Nope. Not surprised by it at all. And y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we roll. Y'all know how we get down. We talk about what the culture's talking about. And yeah. Yeah, so yeah. And like I said, Sunday will be the Roll reunion. Then you guys know Monday we'll be covering it live here the day after. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. Like I said, I'm actually kind of ready for Roll to be over with, to be real with y'all, because I just can't do it no more. I think I did as much as I could for y'all. And now I'm ready for this 3-part reunion. And I know that they are dragging out each week to build anticipation. But I'm just like, you can just do the reunion Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? Just do it Friday night. I do the review Saturday morning. Then you do the reunion, part 2 of the reunion Saturday night. I review it Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday I'll review Monday. Like I can do it. You know what I mean? I can definitely do it. It's no problem. Sincerely, it's really no problem. Believe me. But yes, indeed, though. So we'll see what happens on the reunion. Apparently today, Charles said, "I don't know why I married Angela." I'm like, "Oh my Lord Jesus!" But I can kind of already feel something with Charles, because when Charles said, okay, when Angela said it's our 8-year anniversary, and Charles just said, okay, that I'm like, damn, bro, not even your 8-year anniversary. Like she's in Grenada, and like you don't feel no type of way that she's in Grenada on y'all 8-year anniversary. Like, damn, bro, that's a bit rough. So, oh, my Lord, but it is what it is. And by the way, shout out to the Big Brother World. Tonight is the season premiere of Big Brother, and apparently there's supposed to be a mystery house guest. So yeah. So yes, indeed. So, by the way, 27 seasons is crazy for Big Brother. I mean, can you imagine when they get to their 30th season? Like, my Lord Jesus, that's going to be huge. Wow. So yeah. Lord. So yeah. Oh, Lord. Yes, indeed. We're just chilling. We're gonna try to give y'all a full hour, like I said, before I cut the camera off. So almost there, and then we'll close this out. And yeah, we'll just wait for 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, I'll be here reading the documents live. Yes, indeed. So. Man. So yes, indeed. Hey, one person just chilling out here read the article from Derek Dixon. He talks about a report about his lawsuit with Tyler Perry, and it was a very good article. Very, very good article, and we're just chilling out here until 1 full hour. And then at 10 o'clock, I will have the documents for Kanye West, so please be here from the jump. And yes, indeed. So. Yes, indeed. So almost there to 1 full hour, y'all. Yes, indeed. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. All right. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, man. All right, y'all. It's been 1 hour. Return by Karen X. We know the show for over an hour. Yes, we have. And turn it off. Let me try that. There we go. See now technology want to work, or see how technology wants to work. Anyway, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, I'll be back in 30 minutes with the Kanye West documents with Laura Prescotta and her second amended complaint. Shout out to Document Tings on Twitter for the link. Document Tings is clutch, so shout out to Document Tings for sure. All right, y'all. One love, much love, all love. With that being said, like I said, this was a bonus show here, and like I said, the Virgin show was a planned show. This one was not planned. Did not know it was going to come out today. This article, just like the Kanye West one, was a bonus show. So with that being said, it is time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say anything more special, because you will always want a blessing. Trust you may not be where you want to be, by enemy you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. That's what you call yourself. Another thing, be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. Hopefully, I spend time together. Rise to be great together. Always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're just thinking things through. Make sure the replay is not just ready for you to watch it, not just ready. Let's do it, but if you want to experience it again, I love you, I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, see love you gotta give, or see love you gotta give, or see love you gotta give it, wherever obstacles you're overcome, where success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn. So finally, y'all, listen. When Tyler Perry's new movie comes out, that will be the talk. But believe me, this talk right here of these two lawsuits, they will still be ongoing. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as people, as a culture. I feel love, and sitting right back to you. I'll see you guys back here in under 30 minutes for Laura Prescotta's second amended complaint. One love, much love, all love. I feel love, and sitting right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter. Because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter. Because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.